Coach, going into your third year, coming off a 3-7 record last season, I guess the first thing to touch on here as we get ready to open this 2015 campaign, you lost 24 seniors last year to graduation. I mean, that's high school sports. Kids graduate. That's what you want them to do. But 24 is a lot to lose. What are you doing to overcome that?
Well, obviously you're going to replace them with your younger kids, and we had a really successful JV campaign. Got a lot of nice freshmen off that team as well. A lot of guys that probably could have played a little bit last year that didn't get as much time because we had so many seniors, and it's their time now. They've known that there's a lot of spots have been open, and they've worked really hard in the off season to get themselves ready to step in. Well,
that is one thing. You have a freshman and a JV team that feeds into your varsity program. Let's go over a couple of names that we'll probably be hearing a lot about this season that maybe we're not familiar with getting their first shot at the varsity level.
Well, I mean, I do have some guys coming back, and I mean, you know, offensively, we bring back Bryce Brown, who's kind of the anchor of our offensive line. Center also plays defense for us. And Trevor McDowell played a little bit in the offensive backfield for us, but that's all we have back offensively. A center and a halftime running back. So we've got a lot of spots to fill. Our quarterback will be Austin Curtis. He played strong safety for us last year. He might play some defense as well. We'll see how that goes. But it was nice for him to get a whole year of experience, you know, between the lights on Fridays. So he kind of, you know, has a feeling of what that's like, and I think he'll come in and do a great job for us at quarterback. You know, up front, we still got some things to be determined. I told the kids, I don't know that we'll necessarily finish the way that we started. I think most high school teams are that way. You have an idea what you think you'll be, but you may not finish that way. So a lot of open spots on the offense.
We're talking with North Husky head football coach Brett Szabo. It's Ford and O'Brien on ESPN Evansville 105.3 and online, ESPNEvansville.com. You bring up Austin Curtis. He is a senior, has waited his turn to get in the pocket. What is he grasping the offense? Obviously, as a senior, you know, you get maturity, if anything else. But as far as leadership goes and grasping the offense, is he where you were hoping he would be coming into the opening week?
And really even past expectations for a kid that's, you know, not taking any significant varsity snaps at quarterback. Austin's a student of the game. He's worked hard, you know, on the mental side of it, but really physically he's done a tremendous job. He's a really good baseball player, nice pitcher, multi-sport athlete, which is always something, you know, you kind of look for. And, you know, physically, he's just in tremendous shape. He's really fast. He's strong, throws the ball nice, handles the offense. I don't think pressure will bother him. He internalizes everything. So even if it does, you really can't tell. He's a leader in the huddle, captain of our football team. He'll be fine back there.
Well, you've got all schools go through it. They've got at least one or two bigger name guys that eventually graduate, and they figure out who's going to step into that role. The name on the Huskies would be, at least in my mind, the first name that comes to mind is Chase Whitler. Was just a kind of Mr. Everything for you last year. Utility guy, you could call on him on defense, offense, special teams. Is there a platoon of players that will kind of step into what Chase did last year, or do you have another one of those utility guys you're hoping to step forward?
I don't think you ever have another Chase Whitler. I mean, the kid did it all. I mean, he could have driven our bus to the games and done laundered our uniforms afterwards as well. I mean, he did everything for us, and he's a great football player and a better young man. So you don't really replace a Chase Whitler. Like you said, it'll be a committee thing. And I think Dylan Hyman's done a great job out there for us. Trevor McDowell, as I said, running the football. A newcomer named Sean Coane that I think his name will be a little more pronounced as the season goes on. He's transferred in from California last fall, and he's done a good job to get himself ready. Trey Sloan, Cage Street up at the fullback position. Major Armstead will play up in there a little bit. But like you said, you know, you don't replace Chase. There'll be a lot of guys that will have to fill the role that he played.
Well, flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, Coach, Trey Neighbors, had a pretty good season last year, comes into his senior season. He's been a good football player. In that defensive backfield, the linebacker core, your DBs, are you pretty comfortable where they're at now, or is that a work in progress with so many young players?
No, we feel real comfortable with where we're at defensively. We may have, depending on down and distance situations, some substitutions at linebacker and in the defensive backfield. But we feel real solid with the guys that we have in the defensive backfield. Trey, is, as you mentioned, is a returning starter at left corner. He'll be there again for us, and Sean Coyne will be at right corner. Right now, Dylan Hyman's holding down the safety spot. We may play some other kids there, and strong safety is Daniel Sellers. And inside, we feel really good about Cage Street and Trey Slow. Cage is a junior, and he started for me as a sophomore, which is really rare for me, and I think it's rare for 5A football to have not just a sophomore, but a sophomore playing inside linebacker. And he's really, really coming on strong right now, and we've got a couple guys at will linebacker that look good. And then we'll play up front. We'll play about probably 8 guys. Trevor McDowell returns at defensive end. Sterling Armstrong is a defensive end that looks good. And then, Bryce Brown is a really good defensive tackle. And we got a young man that has really paid his dues and worked hard by the name of Roman Bradley that I thought in the scrimmage he was just absolutely outstanding. I don't think he really ever did get blocked. It was just a matter of whether he made the tackle or not. He was just a beast up front. So we like what we have. We have a lot of kids that'll play. We've told the team from day one that with this football team, it's going to take a lot of kids for us to be successful. We don't have that, that big name player, that guy that we're going to lean on with, offensively and that stud defensive player. So we'll be by committee, and we're happy to do that.
We're talking with North Husky head football coach Brett Szabo on the Menard Studio Hotline. It's Ford and O'Brien on ESPN Evansville 105.3 and online ESPNEvansville.com. You open this Friday night at home, Coach, against an opponent you're somewhat familiar with. You seem to run into them in the sectional every year, although this year you won't. They've restructured it. But Terre Haute South coming to town, a tough football team last year. They've lost some guys too, as all schools do. But what do you know about them, and what are you going to need to do to get out with a win on opening night?
Well, the first year we played them twice. Fortunately, both at our place, and we beat them twice. The first time we had them on the schedule 2 years ago. Last year we went up there opening week, and they just took us to the woodshed. I mean, I don't think we really expected them to be as good as they were last year. With that many people in their school, they ought to have some athletes. But man, they got it together last year. Had a tremendous season. They were our sectional champs, and really had a chance to beat Bloomington and be the regional champ as well. I know they're ranked in the preseason, number 8 in the coaches poll. AP poll hasn't come out yet, but they're a top 10 football team. It's a big 5A school. They lost some really key players, but a school like that, you got to reload, and I'm sure they will. I think they'll have nothing but confidence, considering how bad they beat us last year. And, it's going to take a really big effort on our part to win the football game.
That's North Husky head football coach Brett Szabo preparing for opening night this Friday night as they host the Terre Haute South Braves. As always, Coach, I appreciate your time, and best of luck Friday night and the rest of your season.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.